Mhm. All right, so we are broadcasting to YouTube, and this should be launching here. And we just wanted to welcome everyone here that's joining us. And so um, we are streaming here on this show. We're very excited about presenting to you great information about how to really survive and thrive in this new reality environment. And of course, we've been sharing about different ways to be able to connect, and some of the things that are very important to keep in mind in especially today's climate where people are not necessarily seeing face to face, but instead are meeting lots of people online in the virtual space. My name is Jim T. Chong. I go by the Walk Star, and I'm here with somebody I absolutely respect with decades of experience in media, in news, in broadcast. That is none other than Mike Hayes. He is known as the Network King. And so, Mike, how are you doing today?
I'm doing great, Jim. Thanks. Always good to be with you. Love your enthusiasm and the solutions that we both are able to bring to the table for people who are kind of lost in a big networking herd right now, trying to sort their way through it. How do they survive and thrive and really are able to get new business and new clients in this new reality?
Right. Well, I just want to deal with the obvious. As you're listening here, we're going to be focusing in on a term that we call multimedia follow up and why it is so important, especially during these times. We did cover it earlier, but this is something kind of like, exercise. You can't just do it once and think that it just sticks. It is something that you need to really continue to resonate frequently, but also understand the various aspects of it. So we're going to be covering that a lot today because we really believe this is a key to you prospering, actually adding and contributing directly to your bottom line and thriving in this new normal economy. Before we get started, I just wanted to highlight what is behind you there on your backdrop there, Mr. Hayes. Can you tell us exactly what no money down marketing is and about the business development media?
Sure. So let me start because I do a lot of networking, a lot of follow up. Right now, there's networking events, Jim, are growing in leaps and bounds. There's just so many new networking events all the time. Well, that's good news, bad news. It's both a blessing and a curse because there's so many that it can lead to exhaustion. It can lead to feeling like you're just lost in a herd. And how do you really distinguish yourself? Because in the old normal, we used to distinguish ourselves by multimedia marketing. We'd put out videos or magazine ads or something, to tell people about who we were and what we had to offer, and that would attract people to us. And then they would know who we were, we'd know who they were, and we could do business. But now, with all of the online networking available, people through all the marketing they used to do up front out the window, and they just go to networking events and they feel like they're just getting lost in a herd. They're not closing business, they're not closing sales. That's when I realized with my 30 years of experience that it really put things out of whack, out of cycle. And that you still have to do media marketing, but now you have to do it after you meet people at a networking event. So you go, you meet, and then if you don't follow up, honestly, Jim, your future is in your follow up. And if you don't follow up, it's cause and effect. It's like in Buddhism, they have the lotus flower, which is both the cause and the effect built into one.
Hmm.
And if you do follow up, that's the cause you have to make to get the effect that you want, which is to have people really understand you and want to do business with you. If you don't do that, a terrible thing happens, as I say, nothing. So if your future's in the follow up, and if you're not following up, nothing happens. You have to ask yourself, well, what do you want? Do you want an abundant business, an abundant life, or do you want nothing? Are you just going to go the lazy way and show up at networking events and think you're going to grow your business? And most people are struggling. And so that's why we teach them that it's all about the networking follow-up, especially with multimedia. And because I know search engine optimization and I own the site online virtual business networking, and that has been Googled 1.3 billion times. I can't say that too much. I don't say it lightly because it's not easy to achieve, but we own it. And so we help people use that term to attract people to them with their online virtual business follow-up. And that's why I started Cross Group Networking TV, so that people can get out of the herd and follow up like a TV star. And I'm so confident in it that I can do it with no money down marketing and even promise guaranteed results because I know it works.
You know, this is very, very key here to understand that today's marketplace, some people are in different positions here. Some people are frozen. They're just not knowing what to do. Some people are learning and watching, and they are adapting a bit. And some people have totally immersed themselves in terms of being innovators in this new reality economy. And so you have to decide who you are in terms of this new marketplace. But one thing is true: there is that statement about the fortune is in the follow up. However, if you listen to the network king here, Mike Hayes, he referred to something that we're referring to as the fact that it's not that the fortune is in the follow up, your future and the future is in the follow up. I just want to mention, you know, we did change that wording a little bit because it's so true. Mike, can you tell us why the shift here? Just the difference of one word, that we are now saying the future or your future is in the follow up. Why that change?
Well, to tell you the truth, it's because I have been studying Buddhism for 50 years, and that's all about cause and effect. And when you understand cause and effect, you can really understand how to, well, this is what's going on. So therefore, you can kind of tell what's about to happen often. And so I've always been kind of an intuitive futurist. And I can tell you, folks, I can look and see exactly what's going to happen. That combined with my 30 years of real world experience, you know, going to trade shows. I want people to understand that the old normal of spending, you know, like $3,000 a month for a magazine ad for many businesses, that's the old normal. I can now promise people results, Jim, for $14.95 a month with guaranteed results because of my understanding of where we are and my understanding of networking and business and closing sales. So I want people to understand why I can help them, how I can help them, and how I've been at this for so long. I can tell, you know, it's like if you're in the real estate business, you know a lot more about what's going to happen. I'm not an expert at real estate. I'm an expert at media and marketing and closing business. I've closed, you know, hundreds of millions of dollars worth of business. If I wanted to know real estate, I go to an expert. So, you know, we have the expertise to help people break out and really even create their own list building right in their own community. They can work locally, nationally, or globally. So I don't have all the answers, but I have a lot of the answers. So I love to talk to people one-to-one, Jim, find out who they are, what they need, and then I can offer them solutions and see if it makes sense.
Okay, well, one of the things I wanted to really highlight is cross group networking itself. Um, you know, this is really key that you have a great group that you are connected with. Now, the mission of cross group networking is not all about creating, what do you call that? The garden walled networking entity?
In the old days, you know,
Mhm.
I've been around for 30 years. Okay.
Right.
You and I, you kid me about that a lot.
Yeah.
I love to help younger
Many
people.
more years, many more years
I
than
love to
I.
help younger people learn how to sell to older people like me who have money. Okay, if you're younger and you're listening to this, you shouldn't ignore me. Okay,
Mm-hmm.
because I know who the people that have money, and you need to be able to sell to people wherever they are who have money to be able to pay you what you need to be able to make, to be able to make the kind of living that you want to be able to make. So basically, what I do is I use my background to help people to tell their story in a unique way. And what was the question again?
Oh,
I want
well,
to end up
just
where I
the whole
started. I
thing
have to
is
start writing them down.
right.
Oh,
This,
cross group networking.
yes, correct.
Okay, yeah,
Mhm.
yeah. Thanks.
That
So
goes with senior moments, by the
yes,
way.
it does. Yes, it does. I welcome those. Time to relax. But
Yeah,
anyway, so what cross group networking is, and that's why I love supporting groups that I
correct.
really love, like Happy Neighborhood Project. So I like to network with groups to cross pollinate. See, back in the old days, let's take a company like AOL. People remember that. That was called a walled garden. Okay, so they try to keep everybody in their garden. They make it real nice, and but just stay in AOL. Don't go outside. Just stay in
Correct.
AOL. We're going to make it beautiful. We're going to make it nice. But people go, no, I don't want to just stay in here. I want to network with the world. I want to network nationally, globally. And that's what cross group networking is. We don't believe in trying to hold on or corral people from the herd into your corral. We want to break those down, break down the walls, the barriers, the barn doors, let people out, let them free. Help them. I am so transparent. I love to promote other networking events, other professionals, because I have no fear. As long as I have a lot to bring to the table, there's always a place for me at the table. And so that's what cross group networking is all about, is promoting anybody and everybody that can help you. We're all in the pursuit of happiness and the American dream. And that's why I love the Happy Neighborhood Project. There's a lot of great groups, a lot of great platforms, and I love promoting them with what I call happy networking news. Wherever it's working, that's what I want the spotlight to shine on. And that's why I created Cross Group Networking TV, to help people to not be lost in the herd, but to network like a TV star.
Okay, a couple things that you referenced here. First off, the Happy Neighborhood Project. I'm a personal friend of Edwin Edeberry, the founder, who is a TEDx speaker. And, I am so excited to be able to assist and help expand that network. I've been part of Happy Neighborhood Project. I've had him on my radio show. I've had a chance to introduce him in different audiences as well. But he is an incredible gentleman as well. And he's also going to be a guest speaker here tomorrow at our event here for Cross Group Networking. But I wanted to highlight a couple of things that you brought up that are very key. And then I wanted you to share about this Cross Group Networking
Networking
TV.
TV.
Yeah, the TV program. But
Yeah,
let me share this real quick just first. If you are able to see this, do you see the Cross Group Networking page here? You should see that,
I do.
correct? Okay. And,
I do.
this is just crossgroupnetworking.com. You'll see all of the benefits of what we call multimedia follow up, which is created by Mike Hayes, the Network King. And basically, you'll see you get, we're focused on helping you get more traffic and basically great events that come over 100, well over 100. At the time of this broadcast, we have over 200 people ready to join us in our next event. More presentations, and basically we want to be able to help you be able to gain visibility, but also get the training that you need. And more importantly, why are we doing all this? To close sales. So sales of products, services, or purchase orders. And we really want to help you be able to connect with people here. Basically, you're seeing this concept of no money down as well. And just this whole thing about business development media. And I want you to really think about it. What is your strategy in the marketplace? You have to have a strategy. It's not just about showing up to a lot of things, which, by the way, one of the things that we talk about here also is be intentional in your networking. It's great that there are a lot of different groups that can tailor to your needs, but make sure you understand why you're attending a specific group, what you want to get out from it, and then how you are going to be following up. That is so key. That is true even before this new normal or new reality. And that is absolutely true today here as well. But we wanted to highlight this as well. And so we want you to really pay attention to what we're doing here. We're really trying to put you on a different path. And we also have a global chamber cooperative that we're going to be launching next year as well, where we're going to have a lot of resource channels to be able to educate you on very specific things. And this TV network sort of environment, I'm going to turn this over to Mike to be able to share with you. I'm going to share this time because this is a very exciting concept. And again, both Mike and I have a very strong background in media, in news, and also broadcast as well. And Mike's been in the industry with giants like KGO, CBS, and stuff too. So, Mike, I'm going to turn it over to you to explain a little bit about this new concept. And again, emphasizing, we cannot hear it enough, why the future and your future is in the follow up. Mike Hayes.
Thank you. Let me do a quick screen share.
Absolutely.
Thank you. So, okay, here is, now this is actually.
Now, we do not see a screen share yet, just so you know.
But let me finish the screen share and it'll come up in just a second. And okay, there it is. Okay, now you got it, right?
Yep.
Okay. So this is actually a graphic because one of the things that I also do, I deal in what's called remnant media. And, no media that has ever existed has ever sold all of their space or ad time or whatever. So I can get media for pennies on the dollar of what most people spend. And that's why the direct response industry existed, is because they know how to get the media at just pennies on the dollar of what most people. So I have a magazine ad coming up. This is kind of something I just created this morning because they contacted me with about some unsold ad space, and I wanted to take advantage of it. So here's a kind of a look at the ad. Now, this is a recent ad I ran in a magazine about cross-group networking, and I promoted some of our ambassadors. Down here, I'm going to have text. And this magazine ad will run to about 40,000 people in my community. It's a very affluent town because you want to be able to promote yourself where people are who have money that can hire you. So it's just common sense, So cross-group networking TV is really all about focusing on this term right here, Jim. This term, online virtual business networking, and I hope anybody watching will go there right now, because every third Thursday of the month, we put on a big free networking event. And it's already, the next months are already starting to book out. We already have 200 people, booked for December 17th, but every third Thursday, we put on another networking event. So if you go to online virtual business networking, that'll take you to the Eventbrite where you can RSVP not only for this month, but January, February, and save that time. Now, we're also doing every first Thursday on a different platform than Zoom called Blitzer.
Yes.
And that we're going to be working with Blitzer on and doing our program on Blitzer. We're going to be promoting it there as well. But what Cross Group Networking TV is, the term online virtual business networking has been Googled 1.3 billion times. So when I post on Eventbrite and LinkedIn events, people just come like crazy every day. My inbox, ka-ching, 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 of people who are registering for the event passively. I don't have to do a thing. It's because when you have that big of a search of online virtual business networking, it's find a need and fill it. And so what I do now is I help other people use our SEO on their own local Eventbrite and LinkedIn events. So if they want to be the star attraction, they want to network like a TV star, I'm helping them to do it. And believe it or not, folks, my heart is in helping you. I could charge 149, 199 a month for this easily. I'm charging $14.95. I'm no money down. It's month to month. It's got guaranteed results because I already know it works. I already know it works globally. So I hope that shows people where my heart is. And I'm going to be providing ongoing update with news about happy networking news with you, Jim.
Mm-hmm.
And we're going to be promoting to help people to keep outreaching through their automated network of follow up. And it's really going because I was with NBC in New York and CNN networks, but now I'm launching Cross Group Networking TV so that people can get out of the herd, be the star in their own community. But that could be true. You know, you want to start locally where you can get traction, but then you can build nationally or globally. So I'm very excited about it. We've got media support in magazines, as you know, and
Yep.
you know, it's just going to be a great year. But again, this is the future, and it's not going back. So that's why I know the future's in the follow up. And as I say to people very bluntly, if you're not following up, a terrible thing happens. Nothing. And if you're networking right now, you already know that's true. You know that nothing is happening. If you're just going to networking events, you're just not doing business. I know that. So you need to follow up. You need to do it. You must do it, or you're going to face setbacks or even obsolescence. This is part of the new reality. The other part of it is the access to media. Okay. Now
Mm-hmm.
that's the good part. And that's where you and I really come in to help people to think of themselves. If you're a networker and you should think about becoming a networking influencer, and really so you can promote yourself like a successful speaker or author or expert. And that's where you and I come in, Jim, is to help people to really get that done and get the word out and be presented in a way that is sustainable and will help them to grow their own audience, their own following, just like a TV star has to do.
You know, and this is really important. I wanted to share with you as well here. Here's what we are talking about. And I will tell you, I am very excited. You know, we have done a lot of things with various groups. And, you know, I have seen a lot of different things as a professional. You know, I go by the Walk Star, WOKSTAR. My moniker used to be Party Like a Walk
Yes,
Star. Okay.
it's all about
And
culture.
and you know, you think of a wok like a cooking wok. You bring things together to make something better. That has been my theme for many years. I've spoken in front of you know, smaller groups, 10, 20 people, larger groups of hundreds of people, and even sometimes in thousands of groups for big parades and citywide events. And so, you know, I'm hired to do those things. One of the things I really like is a connection with people, but things are changing right now. Mike, would you say that we're doing things a little differently this year than we have in prior years?
Well, that's why I call it the new reality. And you know what's interesting, I think, is that you and I have the same bullseye, and yet we came about the same vision of the bullseye in such different ways. You're the walk star, bringing cultures and people together to mix them up. And I'm about cross group networking to bring cultures and groups together to mix them up for cross pollinating. But it all comes down to that one thing. So just remember that it's all about the follow up, folks, and you can do elegant marketing in your own style, in your own way, and it is affordable. And it's a great, but it's also a requirement. It's just also an absolute necessity. Even Harvard Business Review says you've got to adapt your business to the new reality. And that's
Right.
as
And,
foundationally sound as you can get.
and you know, along with that, Simon Sinek, he says, you either adapt or die. I mean, that's really the message. Now, Simon is an optimist. His mindset is totally locked in on inspiring people, giving people a different way to think. But I want you to think about this. We are all conditioned to do things a certain way. And as this year, this specific year during the pandemic and as people are working more from home because they do not have a choice to go into the office anymore. The housing prices in this area, actually, they said in Sacramento, which is where I'm right next to, is actually rising because people are now working more from home. People are waiting for the new normal to come back. Hey, we're going to be connecting with people again, just the way we have been. Not necessarily. A lot of people are now conditioned to work from home. Think about this: industries that could be affected, the battery based cars right now, the ones that are more electric driven, really could it be that people are finding out, hey, I can work from home? Employers, businesses are saying, hey, we don't have to spend all this money in a real physical place. We don't need to house the offices. Could that possibly affect the automotive industry? Right, because now we don't need these cars to drive back and forth with being able to go hours and hours to work, or maybe even just a half hour, these short stints. But we might be just working from home more. And
well, Twitter already said, Jim, they're not bringing employees back to, all of them back to one building anymore. They're going to really embrace work at home models.
yeah, and that makes totally good sense. And so, I want to tell you about a company. You might have heard of it. It's a small company when it started, right? And and eventually merged towards specializing in books, right? And we have Mr. Bezos that basically started a company called
Amazon.
Amazon. And you look at Amazon right now, they created a really intense business model. And what they started to do, when you think about it, they just started out with books, right? That was part of their core foundation. And now they started saying, hey, what if we delivered products as well? And so they are actually called a disruptive technology because they are changing the way people are thinking and doing business. Now, who would have thought that Amazon would be able to challenge DHL, even the post office, FedEx in terms of delivery? But they're one of the most powerful companies because they have product delivery, and they're not just talking about, hey, 2 day or within a few days. Now it's like sometimes 1 day, or even, exception is the pandemic, even same day delivery. And you look at their disruptive technology, and when you look at it, if you take a look at the definition of disruptive technology, it is an innovation that significantly alters the way that consumers, industries, or businesses operate. And it sweeps away the systems or habits it replaces because it has attributes that are recognizably superior. And what I wanted to do was just mention we are creating a mindset for people to adjust to be able to understand the new way of networking, the new way of doing things. And you have to think differently because it's no longer about, hey, Mike, let's go ahead and meet at the coffee shop. Hey, Mike, let's even meet one-on-one. Now, follow-up is really key. I'm going to let Mike summarize this because he's the one that has really been pounding this in, that our future, your future, is in the follow-up. Now, what I want to mention to this is here, a lot of times we don't do it. We don't balance our checkbooks. We don't do the basics. And that's, we can laugh about that a little bit, but this is really serious in terms of the shift we are doing. And now the follow-up is even so much more important because you're not going to see people repetitively in the same meeting necessarily. You're going to meet 10, 20, 50 people in an online session. You don't follow up, even more so. Remember what do they call those cards that we used to carry with our phone numbers and name? Oh, business cards. Yeah. So
Yeah,
we don't have those anymore. And
right,
if and even those, we have boxes that we've never followed up with. All we need to do is make a conscious decision. Go online.
And now it's
Who am
all
I going to follow up with?
right. Now all of that on paper business card stuff you're talking about, it's all now automated through the same program that we can use for the
Yep.
SEO. So
Yep.
we've automated, and it's so important because otherwise you're going to face physical setback. You can only attend so many Zoom meetings without, you I mean, it drives you crazy. But when you automate your follow-up with video, multimedia, and automation that is available now, you can be making money. I actually had a client that he did hundreds of, well, he did almost $200 million in sales. He would have nights where he made $200,000 while he was sleeping, Jim, sleeping. And
Wow.
and so when you have automation and video, you can make money while you're busy doing other things. Your video's out there selling for you while you're doing other things. That's why I'm saying your future's in the follow if you're smart. Okay. I should add that. Okay.
Yeah. Well, here's a real reality here. I am so inspired to work with you, Mike, because I know the value you are really bringing to people. You and I collaboratively were working to really help train people on how to run these business events, in the virtual arena. I'm really excited. I'll be doing one for a chamber actually in a couple of days in another business center next week. And I know we have our big event that you have. And I know we're focused now on just not on cross group networking. Hey, imagine this. We are focused on opening up a resource to train others. Why? It's not about, what did you call it? The walled garden. I like that whole thing where,
Yeah.
where we want to,
No, that wasn't
yeah,
my term. That wasn't even my term. That's what they call it. But where's AOL today?
right. But this is why it's so important. We have to understand we are trying to provide a great resource for you. So, whether you are an individual wanting to network, we really believe we have a great platform once a month, every third Thursday of the month, I believe, right?
Yeah.
For the cross networking, group networking. But you know what? We have other affiliations such as Happy Neighborhood Project that we can direct you to. We are very
Weekly.
excited to
Weekly.
promote. Yeah, and that's weekly. And we have the Global Chamber Cooperative that's going to be launching. It's going to be a chamber. We're starting to connect resources together for existing entities such as chambers, business groups, and we're going to be bringing this on behalf of, cross group networking and other entities that we are affiliating ourselves with.
And
Now,
let me hop in for 1 second
sure,
about
absolutely.
the chamber and everything.
Mhm.
Folks, maybe it's a bubble. Everything ends up being a bubble at one time or another. But even if it is a bubble, the growth of online virtual business networking is like this. Well, if you don't hop on a growth curve that is like this, if it goes away or not, we don't know. We
Mhm.
don't know. But right now, and it's predicted by people no less than Bill Gates, it's not going to go away after the pandemic. So, like Jim is saying, if you're in a chamber of commerce and you want to grow your chamber, your membership, you want to grow your business, how can you avoid a growth curve that is absolutely like a rocket ship?
Mhm.
Just folks, I'm just trying to help you to see it. It's simple to get started. It's not difficult, and it's, you know, uh, you know, uh, there's a saying, "Got junk," about that
A
company.
company.
Just
Yeah.
they say just point. If you want to learn how to do effective multimedia follow up, we have boiled it down to this: just talk. We will interview you to tell your
Yep.
story. You don't have to know technology. If you can talk, just talk, and we can capture it. And Jim and I will help you to transition to multimedia if you know about technology or not. We are truly here to help you.
Yes. And one of the things we are really putting our own investments, our time, money, and energy to really create some real cutting edge platforms. As I said, we are not looking to do what everyone else is doing. It's more of a disruptive sort of mindset we have to have because I can tell you there aren't too many groups that are truly highlighting other groups. And here's why it's important. We're going to direct you with groups that make sense for you, not just because although I like that expression. I love the walled garden. I want to be in a walled garden, but I don't want to live there.
We're making it a walled garden, but we have
I know. I
big
know.
gates. Okay.
Absolutely. And the whole point is that we are very adamant towards the beginning of the year. We're going to be launching some really big things through the Global Chamber Cooperative, through cross group networking. Some of the things that we're going to be able to, I'm sorry, I have to summarize some of these things. I'm so excited. We're going to be helping you tell your story. We're going to be working and really being able to create, you ever hear this? Your smartphone audiobook, right? And this is really the brainchild of Mike Hayes. Again, that's why he is a NetworKing, to really bring it down to the essential. I don't know if you could show them your card here,
Yeah, sure.
but this is one of the solutions that we're going to do. And if you could just show it real quick and why it's important in this day and age.
If your future is in the follow-up, your follow-up is right here in your phone. At 9 to 10 a.m. Pacific. And there's my that's my Zoom ID number, Jim.
Yep. That is really great.
415-781-9296. This is the new stage. If you're a speaker, an author, and you want to speak to be able to help people understand who you are, the old stage, like Edwin was on, did a brilliant job on
TEDx.
Well, these are the new stages. These are new small stages where you can tell your story. So that's what we want to be able to help you do. Tell your story in a way that'll make you an ETV star when you are networking and get your story out there.
And so many people are really still a little lost. They're not sure, understand the significance of it. I remember when CDs were coming out, right? And it was like we had audio tapes, we had records. CDs, a lot of the bit rates and stuff, they don't sound as clean as records. They don't sound like the authentic thing. But I want to fast forward. Even the CDs are gone now. Everything advances forward. We've taken the smartphone technology and we're implementing this. You need this sort of stuff. We are, and I'm just going to share this. We have a resource, really a speaker stage that we're developing as well. Part of the Global Chamber Cooperative and cross group networking, right? We really want to promote you as a speaker. We are putting our time and effort to create a directory of great speakers, right? Kind of like the TEDx model, but it's going to be different in a variety of different ways. And you'll find out more about it. We have a publication. I know, Mike, you are publishing some things to get things out there that other network groups are not doing,
I'm publishing things to promote other people and other things.
Correct.
So that's what I'm all about.
Yeah.
It's not about self-promotion. It's about co-promotion.
Exactly. And we write, I write to magazines here. Matter of fact, we probably will be having something specifically about the cross group networking, definitely in the new normal economy. Actually, I should say we will be having something about cross group networking and where we are going in the future for 2021. We are also in the works of launching our own publication as well. So we have a lot of things, Mike, we can go on and on, but here's where I want people to think about. And I want to give you a minute to comment on this as well. Disruptive technology is here. If people just ignored and didn't really understand the solutions that could be provided, you're going to miss the boat. Can you imagine? It used to be, hey, can you imagine if you bought some shares in Microsoft? Now it's like, can you imagine if you would have bought some shares in Amazon, right? In Grubhub? Some of these places, you've got to stay up with it. Networking, I will tell you, we are changing the face of how network is being done. We are, I believe, and I'm not saying now, Mike, I'm not saying we like you and I, only it is a village. We being the community, we are highlighting other groups. If you have a group, connect with myself, Jim T. Chong, the Walk Star, or Mike Hayes, the Network King. We want to help you get word out about your group. You do have to be an established group. But regardless, we can train you on how to implement your group successfully. So, Mike, before we end out, I just want to give you some time for some closing comments on why we talk about the follow-up and just the resources going in next year, why it's so important.
A couple of things, Jim. You talk about disruption technology. Well, the reason it's important is because we were disrupted by the pandemic. It really shook the foundation of business to the core. So this disruption was imposed on us. But now we have the ability to use technology to offset this disruption that we didn't ask for. It's here. Now we can offset the damage it has done to our small business infrastructure. And you talk about buying a stock. I look at it as buying a sponsorship in Cross Group Networking TV for $14.95 per month on a month-to-month basis, no money down with guaranteed results. Duh. I mean, really, I can't make it more clear than that, folks. I mean, tell me how you could possibly lose. If there's something you know that I don't know that we can incorporate, tell me. I want to look into it. But if you get one deal, if you can't make 10 times the return on investment of $14.95, folks, you are in the wrong business.
Yeah.
Okay? If you can't make that back, you are hurting. You are not in the right business.
Yeah.
So we can either help you to redefine the way you describe your business. That's how I took one client to $200 million in sales, by just changing the way he was describing his business. That's why the audio books are so important, Jim, because I interview people, not just average what they already know. I know how to bring out the stuff that people really want. I'm like their attorney for their market, to help people understand and how to sell to guys like me. I have money. Other people have money. You want to be able to sell to people who have money so they can pay you what you deserve for what you have to offer. So, folks, I'm trying to make this as simple to understand and to follow, and no risk, zero risk. You know what the risk is, Jim? If
Time.
you don't do it.
Time, and if you don't do it. But
If
time.
you don't do it.
Yep.
Because even time, even for all of the great Happy Neighborhood Project co-hosts, they're asking for a commitment of time of 4 to 5 hours a week, which is great because it's a great organization. But even that, I can get that down to about an hour a week. So it's not even risking time. It's saving time. It's saving money, has absolutely no risk. So all I can say, folks, is, if you don't move on this opportunity and move now, guess what's going to happen? Your competition is going to. So somebody is going to claim your city, where I'm offering you the chance to become a Cross Group Networking TV affiliate in your town and start to grow your own audience, where you own the results, you own the list. And what we do is we do a big cross promotion, a collective promotion to help you to grow your list. So honestly, if you're not moving on this, you're not listening, or check your pulse, because this is something that you really have to do, or you face danger of hurting your business or losing out to a competitor who does take advantage of the opportunity. And I mean that sincerely.
Yeah. Well, I'll tell you, we're growing this platform, the Virtually Ready Media Channel. We're going to be launching next year. So we are putting on some great content here. You notice this says rough cut draft. Why? Because we're going to be cutting a real cut and bumpering it. But one of the things is that, Mike, you and I could decide to do nothing. Oh, let's just wait till let's get all the technology right. Let's understand everything. And like what you said, you know what ends up being done when you just wait and wait and wait? What ends up being done?
Somebody leapfrogs over you and jumps on it, and they're miles ahead of you before
Right.
you can move.
Because you did
Nothing.
nothing. And this is a word. We hope this stimulates you to think. We want so badly for you to embrace the new normal economy. Don't go in there thinking, "Oh my gosh, how can I survive?" But think, how can I thrive? We have a lot of things right here with Cross Group Networking, the Global Chamber Cooperative, and the other partners coming up. We're going to be a resource to you. We are at your service, and we believe serving is the best way to really bring people together. That's what I'm all about. I know that's what Mike is all about. We want to thank you for tuning in here. Make a decision to get connected. Go to crossgroupnetworking.com and also globalchambercooperative.com to find out more information. Final words here from you, Mike.
Yeah, for our big event on the 17th, and then every third Thursday after that at 10 a.m., go to onlinevirtualbusinessnetworking.com. That term has been Googled 1.3 billion times because that's what people want. Find a need and fill it. Jump on that right now, and we want to see you. So if you're a total skeptic, I can deal with a healthy skepticism, Jim. I can't deal with a cynicism. Okay. If somebody's a cynic, that's like an illness to me.
Oh my gosh, that's a whole other topic
That's a
there.
whole other thing
Yeah.
altogether. Okay, that's their problem.
Yes.
But if you are just have a healthy skepticism like a smart entrepreneur does, come to our free events. Get to know us, like us, trust us. We don't care. We're going to be here for the long haul for you. But one way or the other, do something. And you can start that free online virtualbusinessnetworking.com and register for our upcoming event.
Very exciting. Well, be known for doing something rather than nothing. This is Jim T. Chong, the Walk Star, along with
Mike Hayes, aka the Network King of Multimedia.